somehow experience my own meditation is, the best way that I can describe it is a deeper and more feelable contact with myself, my nature, my being, my aspirations, my potential. Because meditation takes all of us closer to our essential nature, what we sometimes call in our groups our Buddha nature, recognizing that within all of us there exists a core of silence, of acceptance, of gentleness, all of these things that we can associate with deep relaxation. That's there, we're born with it, and it never goes away. But what happens is that we're piling all kinds of things, all kinds of conditionings around that beautiful center that we're all born with, that all babies bring with them. And so we lose contact with that light, that source of light that we carry inside. All that conditioning, in a way, keeps our awareness away from this remembrance of our essential nature. And so part of the work of pulsation and dynamic meditation is to take off all that stuff that is caked around the core, the essential core. So our meditation and pulsation, the dynamic, and throwing off all of the conditioning and the stuck energies, takes us into more and more subtle and vulnerable and unknown parts of ourselves, hidden parts of ourselves that are full of light. And Tantric pulsation then, in a way, takes advantage of that opening and the greater ease of being able to connect with that positive center. It's like Tantric pulsation is it just takes us into subtler, softer, deeper, quieter, more universal places inside ourselves. And from a deeper contact with ourselves, we can meet another from a deeper place, and maybe a more silent place, and a more dancing place, and a place that that brings joy, that is light. So I don't know if that explains it, but that's the way I see it.
So about this polarity, about this energy, about this
yeah, so basically this is the tantric aspect of things, right? When I was early on, when I was after I had been practicing in our Pune 1 days, the early days with Osho, I was growing the pulsation work, and I started, and also at the same time, Osho was working with our energy in particular ways that was activating our sexual energy to move upwards, in a way. I can say that as a general way, he worked with our energies to guide them upwards towards what nobody talked about, but just a kind of upward flow of energy that was also very blissful. So I was very touched by this work that he was doing with us, and it started to seep into my pulsation work. so that I was also beginning to work with the pleasurable side of things, and I began to notice how when we were doing meditations that were soft and maybe working with flow, with water, with movement, with latihan, how the barriers to the energy the barriers to the flow seem to dissolve at a certain point. So what I just have to think for a minute. So what I started to feel in myself was this flow that I could call it sexual, because it was an energy that I recognized from when I connected with a man. That there's a kind of flow of energy between that is enabled, that is made more possible when the negative, the tensions have been released, and so this idea of Tantra, this idea of sexuality